Good morning. Got some breakfast going on over here. And same as last week, I've got 7 pounds of ground beef in here and 5 pounds of ground beef over here. What did I say? Today's Saturday. Since I made 12 last week, I have 3 left. Last night for supper, I went and got from one of our local hole-in-the-wall places. I got 2 pounds of pulled pork, and I ate probably about 1.5 pounds last night. I was so full. It was so awesome. So I had called before. They don't use sugar. They only season with Lowry seasoning salt. So I've got some bacon that I'll do after I'm done with the ground beef. There's some eggs still in there, and like I said, those 3 ground beefs, and there's a couple steaks defrosting. So I'm gonna do my 12 little containers of ground beef, just like last week. No seasoning. So then whatever I want to season with that day, I can. Where did I move my seasonings? Hold up. Where did I put them? Just a second. Oh, I've been using some Mrs. Dash garlic and herb. And I've been using some Mrs. Dash Southwest chipotle. Sometimes I've used some dill weed. And sometimes some Old Bay. Sometimes just salt. Sometimes I even break the rules and do some minced onion. So just kind of, like to change things up. The other day I just used nothing. I ate most of it without even any seasoning, and it was good too. So it's 7:26 in the morning. I woke up at 6 for whatever ungodly reason on a Saturday. And I had bought a rotisserie chicken this week. And separated into 2. And so that's another reason why I have extra meals. Because I think I even have a couple. Do I have some in the freezer? Yeah, I think I got 1 more in the freezer. Anyway, I just wasn't in the mood for steak or ground beef. Just wanted a little something different. So I'm pan frying the already cooked rotisserie chicken. Fried up 3 eggs. And I used to do this a lot. I put some bacon bits in with the chicken. And I'd put some kind of sauce on it. But instead I've got about, probably about 3 tablespoons of butter in here. And just heating it all the way through and giving it good buttery, salty flavor. And I had not salted it yet, so I want to put some salt on it. I don't want to, hopefully I didn't get too carried away, because rotisserie chickens, they have salt. So now I'm going to put my eggs back in. And sorry, that was me licking the bowl. Up in the spoon, because I didn't want it to dribble all over. So this I don't like, some people cook with lemon, when you're new and you're trying to get things squared away and you don't want to, you're having trouble. It's okay to do stuff, I still use pork rinds at work sometimes. Sometimes I just want to eat something, and I don't, sometimes I'm mouth hungry and not stomach hungry. So that's when pork rinds come in handy. So now I'm cooking this all together just to kind of help the flavors blend a little bit and to keep the eggs warm. And then I'll put it in a container and I will eat it. Hang on just a second. Okay, so close up. Now it's heated up good. So I'll put it in a bowl. This bowl, it always seems to be on top because I wash it. It's and then it doesn't fit at the bottom because I have my bowl. Other bowls are square bowls, so you know, square doesn't fit in a circle as well as a circle fits in a square. And anyway, so it probably seems like I use this bowl every week, but and that is going to be my breakfast. Let me just see how, if I need to add more salt or not. Nope. That's good. That's good. Oops. Helps to turn your stove off. I like doing things like that when I'm home. Same with sometimes if I'm home, I'll have a steak for breakfast. You know, it's kind of fun to, I mean, I don't crave a lot of weird things or anything, but sometimes you just want a different flavor in your mouth. So, I've been hanging out around 78, 80. My lowest was set 278, 280. My lowest was 276. So we started a thing at work, a contest. It's for the summer, just to kind of help keep people motivated and losing weight and moving over the summer. So my plan, I was thinking about joining a gym. Somebody else said something about going and walking in the mall. So I'm not sure which I'll do at this point. Because just starting out, you know, you just want to walk. You don't want to do a bunch of machines and stuff just when you're first starting out, because your body just won't be used to it and ready. When I joined before, I did the same thing. I just walked on the treadmill. And so anyway, hang on, I'm blowing my nose. So this is what I eat. This is what I'll eat for breakfast. And then lunch I'll eat, or supper, lunch, whatever, whenever. It'll either be a steak or some ground beef. What else? Told you my weight staying between 278, 280. Ground beef. Breakfast. I think that's all I got to lay on you today. So, yeah, I'll show you stuff later on. It's the same thing, and so I feel guilty showing you all the exact same thing, but, you know, that's all right. You don't have to watch it. You can fast forward or flip to a different one. Anyway, I'll show you some more stuff later. And there you have it. My ground beef. And my ground beef. That one's a little dry. I'll probably add some butter to that one when I take it to work. So I've got 12 containers. They're each right about 15 ounces. And so I'll take those to work. But I'm in the process of cooking supper right now, which is a steak. And sorry, I'm putting this away so I don't forget. And then later on, some point this weekend, I'll do my my bacon. This week, what I do think I'm going to do for breakfast, I think I'm going to continue with the bacon and add some eggs to it. So like each morning, I think I'm going to fry up 3 eggs and then have that with it. What else? So I'm hungry, so I've taken 2 ribeyes and I cut off the fat. I didn't season them. I'll do that when I take them out, just so it helps kind of keep keeps the pan cleaner. So that's all the fat that I've cut off the 2 ribeyes. I just don't like it, don't like the texture. So I see that one has that's got some meat on it. But anyway, they're in 4 distinct piles for the dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So each dog will get a bite. And I'll heat up. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. Actually, I probably won't. I think I'll just eat the steaks. And then this is that pulled pork that I had gotten last night. Probably about a ½ pound of it left. I think actually I'm going to, since that's what I bought the most, or the freshest, I'll put that back in the freezer. I just needed to cook those steaks. So, yeah. So I'll have the steaks. And then I set the air fryer, I said on 6 minutes. And so in 6 minutes again, I'll take it out and then flip it. And then I'll put it back in for 6 minutes. And I'll show you how that looks. I'm still tweaking this. I don't like to do it in the air fryer too often because it seems like the very, very center is too done and the outside, or center is not done enough and the outside is too done. But anyway, so we'll see. Since I cut it into smaller pieces, that kind of helps a little bit. Yeah. So that's what I got going on. I'll show you that when it's done. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have learned by now just how lazy I am. I don't know. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're just clueless about it. Air fryer done. It's been roughly 12 minutes. So something I did just to give it, I smelled somebody barbecuing outside. My neighbor's having a party. And I was like, ooh. But I have some, it's barbecue sauce. And it's like sugar-free, but I know there's additives, so I don't like to use it. I just kind of had to go through some pretty rough withdrawals last week because of that gum I was chewing. So anyway, but what I did do was I have some liquid smoke that I have in a squeezy bottle. So I squirted some of that liquid smoke on this after I flipped it. And so right now it smells like mesquite barbecue. Anyway, so back to me being lazy. So what I do is I like to cut the steak up. And then that way when I can go in the living room and watch TV and not have to be bothered with cutting up pieces of steak. That's just too much work. Like if I'm crocheting or playing a video game or something. Let me see. Let me cut one in half here. Remember what I told you just a second ago that, or at least a second ago according to you watching me, that I still haven't mastered this. Hang on, let me show you. So this is 12 minutes. That's kind of medium rare. I'm not a big fan of medium rare, but I'm more a fan of medium. But you know, it's not a taste thing. I like the taste of medium rare. It's a mental thing because I got issues. If you haven't learned that by now, I got issues. So anyway, yeah, I don't like seeing it being medium rare. If I could eat it in the dark, hey, I'd be just fine. So anyway, but I'm cutting it in this bowl and maybe I'll have no clue. Here's a good. So that's how red it is. So that was 12 minutes. But you could see on the outside, it's done. So if I did it much longer, then it's going to be like a hockey puck. So I guess what I could do is cut them in half again. But anyway, so yeah. So now I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'll show you what seasonings I put on it. I need another new pair of these cooking scissors. I have another pair, but man, they're so terrible. I'm not easy on things like knives and cutting, cooking shears, because I put them in the micro or the oven, not the mic. Good grief, I can't talk. I put them in the dishwasher, and I don't do whatever it is you're supposed to do with them to keep them sharp and nice. So yeah. So now here's gonna tell you even just how much more weird I am. I cut all that fat off of there, right? You saw me. You see all this fat back here that I cut off, and you saw me cut off the fat. But it's that I don't like the texture. So this is what I do. I pour that in there, and that's going to be also the juice from, what's that thing? That stuff I poured on it. And, but what I'm also going to do is, hang on, that's right, cheer. Taking some butter. I'm going to probably about 2 tablespoons. I'm putting that right on it. I like the taste of butter better than I do like meat fat. I don't know. It may be the death of me one day. Who knows? But, so that's what I'm going to do for that. Now, I'm going to add, where's my salt? Add a little bit of salt. And then, where is, over here. This is a mixture of garlic powder and onion powder. I think it's garlic salt and onion powder. Anyway, dehydrated garlic and onion. So I'm going to put a little sprinkle of that in there. Now, let me get it all kind of mixed in here. See how this is going to taste. I know it's going to taste delicioso. It's going to be fabulous. But, oh man. Well. Yep, that's good. Maybe a little more salt. Okay. So that's what I'm going to have for supper. This morning, I ate that chicken and eggs around, I don't know, I think it was around 8. And it is 3:45 and I'm hungry now. Oh yeah, that's good. So, this is what I'm going to have for supper. And, yeah, so you've seen me make my meals for the week. Like I said, I think I'm gonna, when I do my bacon later, I think, like I said, I'm gonna add eggs to it this week. And got some ground beef that's splattered. Ooh, that's not lovely. I'm in a tank top, and look at those arms. Good golly, Miss Molly. Woohoo! Well, that's all right. I'm fat. We all know it, but we're working on it. So anyway, so I'll clean off my air fryer, clean out the basket and stuff, and I'll eat, and then I'll give the dogs the fat when I'm done eating. And that's that. You are officially in the loop for this week.